Let's get into today's episode of Why We Succeed.
And before we wrap up, fun segment of the show, I want to give you the pick three. So essentially what I'm going to ask you to do is pick three numbers between 1 and 16. Each of those numbers is going to correlate to a question that I'll ask you. You'll answer it, and then, we'll kind of proceed from there. So whenever you're ready, what will be your first number between 1 and 16?
7.
7. So the question is, if you could go back in time, what is one thing that you would change about your business or how you got started?
Okay, I think I'd probably say I won't change anything because all the experiences shaped me. So I think it made me who I am, even the bad parts. Mm-hmm. But I'd say if I could go back, I would kick my younger self in the ass and tell her, stop being so worried about money. Come on, do your thing and stop about money.
I love that. That is amazing. So what's your second number between 1 and 16?
Well, let's take 16.
All right, 16. The question is, what is a notable opportunity that you missed out on or that you were able to take advantage of? So either something you missed out on or something that you were able to take advantage of.
That is a really good question. I don't know which one I would have missed because I saw the good ones. Well, I'd say probably starting my YouTube channel and just daring to do it because actually I didn't know where I wanted to go. And for me, it was just my coping mechanism after the burnout. Like I wanted to stop drawing, but still remain in the field. So it was really the thing that I decided to do to still have some work and to in the same field, but I didn't have necessarily expectations, and I was just like, okay, I will show people how it's done, how the industry works. And now it's been exactly 1 year since I opened this channel, and I realized that it did so much good because when I wrote my lessons and videos, like I remembered about what I did wrong, what could be improved, like setting my boundaries and really also starting to learn more about myself, like what's really important to me.
Wow, that's amazing. And I'm definitely grateful because, I never would have been introduced to you had you not started the channel, and we wouldn't be here having this amazing conversation. So thank you so much for your willingness to take advantage of that opportunity. So happy for that. And what's your third number? Last one.
3.
3. So the question is, what is a book that you want to read, but you haven't picked up yet?
There are so many books. Actually, just to say, I don't read normal books anymore. I'm more into business and self-development.
Nice.
I really don't know because I have a shelf full of books that I still need to read, but I haven't done so yet. So I really couldn't say, but I'm really much into those business stuff and self-development because I think whenever you read a book, then you always learn new things about yourself.
Well, that brings up a second question then. What is a notable business book that you've read in the past, or not even necessarily finished, but you were able to take a valuable lesson away from it that you still recall today?
Well, I remember there was once during my last year at school, I had that English and Spanish teacher, so he was doing both. And I really respected him because I loved how he worked, and he was really a role model for me, like as a teacher. And during the last year, he hosted a little competition where we could get some gifts. And one of the gifts I got from him was the book, The Timekeeper. And actually, I remember that we had that conversation. We had a paper, an English paper, and he asked like something, if we had a magic wand or something, what would we wish for? And I remember that I wrote, I wish I had more time. Then afterwards, he got me that book. Wow. And it's really the only fiction book that I've kept at home, because for me it was really a good lesson about your time, about the value of time, of life, and so on. And it's also something kind of like an emotional gift, because I love that teacher so much. So it's like a souvenir from what he taught me and what I'm striving to become.
That's amazing. Wow. Sabrina, I have truly enjoyed this opportunity speaking with you. Before we go, I just want to hand the mic over to you. Are there any questions that you like to ask me, or any last or closing words that you like to leave our viewers and our listeners with?
Well, I think we covered the most important things. So thank you so much again for hosting this.
Yes, most definitely. And how can they get in contact with you if they want to support you?
Well, if you want to find me, you can go to sabrinakaufmann.com or find me on Instagram at sabrinak.art. Now, I'm not active on Instagram. I'm actually only posting in stories, like just to keep people updated, because I've decided that social media sucks and I don't want to invest my time into it. And I'm really much happier, and I really, it's much better. So yeah.
Hey, trust me, like I haven't been on Instagram in years, so so I can totally relate to taking a step away from it.
And if you want to get more art and business tips, then you can go to myartbaseacademia.com. So I also share my YouTube videos, and you really have also artist interviews and other guest artists who write about the art industry in general. So that can definitely help you.
Wonderful. And I'm going to make sure that I have the links to everything that you mentioned in the show notes and the description, so that you guys can go and show Sabrina some love and support. Other than that, Sabrina, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. If you're ever interested in coming back again, it would truly be an honor. Thank you so much for everything you shared.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Why We Succeed. If you value relationships and believe they are the true key to success, be sure to subscribe. To watch this full discussion and gain access to exclusive content, join our Patreon today. The link is in the description. Thank you, and we'll catch you on the next episode.